from one of my subscribers on my YouTube channel, a U.S. Marine Corps story. A few years back, I was invited to a USMC birthday party by a senior leader within Merrill Lynch. He handed me a flyer to the party and asked me to attend to help celebrate the Marine Corps birthday, a party that he had been organizing annually for several years. I have a habit of asking what may appear as obvious questions, but sometimes it leads to great dialogue. This was one of those times. I asked, out of all of the branches of the military, why is it that only the Marines have the slogan, once a Marine, always a Marine? I will do my best to capture his response, because as he spoke of this, we both had tears in our eyes and I had goosebumps. While I'm not exactly sure of my friend's age, he was well into his 70s, maybe 80. At the time, he was telling me this story. He begins, "That's an interesting question, and I am uniquely qualified to give the answer." He continues, "Let me give a little background as to why this is so. During the Vietnam War timeframe, it was increasingly difficult to find recruits who were willing to voluntarily sign up to join the Marines to go off and fight in a war and potentially lose their life. Politically, the war was very unpopular, and most people were more interested in sex, drugs, and rock and roll at the time. He says, because as you know, the Marines are the ones on the front lines of danger. During this time, I was a senior recruiter for officers of the Marine Corps. And as such, I was heavily involved with the Marine Corps senior leadership on how to solve this problem. So we contacted one of the very best research and marketing firms to help us find recruits. We spent months researching, and we found a very interesting bit of information that we used to change our recruiting tactics and ultimately start to have success recruiting. He explains, we started to conduct very different types of tests on people. We gave them stories to read with different focuses or topics within the story. If we gave them a story about the most advanced technology or the most state of the art breakthrough advanced computer systems, the individuals who may be best suited for, say, the Air Force, they would pause a fraction of a second longer on those keywords. Anything technology related, we could tell that was of interest to those individuals as we watched from behind two-way mirrors. These recruits reading these stories we gave to them. This next part is where his tears came, and mine did as well. He explained what we learned about Marines was they took long pauses within the stories we gave them on words such as honor, country, loyalty, integrity, courage, commitment, to name just a few. He looked at me with his eyes welled up and a big smile and says, "David, these qualities never leave a Marine. They are deeply rooted in their core, in their being. It's how they're hardwired. So when you hear once a Marine, always a Marine, this might be a major reason as to why." On a personal note, it's also why I knew one of my family members was marrying an honorable man. Happy birthday, Marines.
I will be the greatest president that God ever created.